Hi Emily, this is Mike from Stagecoach Road Vintage Sewing Machine, and this is your beautiful brother. I apologize for the quality of the video. I still haven't unearthed my tripod from the move, so I'm kind of winging it here. But this is the final test of your machine, and in this test we're going to go over the operation, how to wind the bobbin, how to thread the machine, and how to sew. With further ado, without further ado, let's get started. You'll find your bobbin in the bobbin case below the slide plate. Pull out the little tab, and your bobbin case will just pull right out of the bobbin race. And that one's still got some thread on it, so I'm just going to wind a new bobbin. Put your bobbin on the bobbin winder and turn the rubber tire until the little keeper pin goes into the slot on the side of the bobbin. Put your thread on the spool pin down by the bobbin winder and go into the tension device right next to that spool pin, then up to your bobbin, where you'll put a few wraps on the bobbin to hold the thread in place while you're winding. And let's see. You want your thread to go onto the bobbin over the top that way. So let's put it on, get back in the keeper hole. Then press in this lever here, and this finger will drop into the bobbin, and that is going to ride up as the thread fills until it reaches the point where the bobbin's full, and that'll flick up and stop winding. So again, making sure that you are in the tension device down here. It's a kind of a dreary spring day here in Oregon, and I have the wood stove going, and I'm too hot. I gotta take off something here. Whew. That's better. Okay, we're still running. Okay, now decollect your machine by turning the knob in the center of the hand wheel towards you a quarter of a turn or so until you feel it hit its stop, and then the hand wheel is free to spin without making the rest of the machine cycle. So here we go. Put a finger on your spool just to keep it from going wild. What did I do wrong here? Definitely did something wrong. I think I must have put the bobbin on with the thread going the wrong way. That simply won't do. There we go. Okay, making sure that your thread is going on over the top. This way, facing the machine. Make sure you're in the tension device. Okay, give it a little gas. There we go. That should be enough thread for our demonstration. Flick this lever up to release the bobbin. Reclutch your machine by tightening the knob in the center of the hand wheel. And with the thread coming off the top of the bobbin in this direction, set it into the bobbin case. Bring your thread up through this little slanted slot on the side and under the flat leaf spring until you feel the thread click into place. There. Then with this little finger here pointing up, slide it back onto the post in the center of the hook here, down below the slide plate. Make sure that it goes all the way in and clicks into place so it doesn't drop back out while you're trying to sew. Put your thread on the spool pin up top here. Go into the thread guide. Into the thread guide at the top, down between the discs of the tension assembly, all the way around until you pick up the check spring on the side here, a little loose spring. Then bring your thread on up until the thread goes into the notch at the top. Then when you pull up, you'll see the spring move. You know you got it right. Then go behind this big thread guide above it, through the take-up lever from the right to the left. I'm going to turn off that light because it's not helping. Okay. Into the thread guide below the take-up lever. Into the thread guide at the bottom down here. Into the thread guide on the needle clamp. It's a lot of thread guides, but it gives you a lot of good control over your thread. And then through the needle, let's see, on this one it should be from the left to the right. And I always cut a nice fresh end on the thread before I try to thread the needle. Otherwise, those little frays will deflect the needle from going through the needle hole and give you all sorts of trouble threading your needle. There's a little tiny frayed edge there that's deflecting. There we go. Holding your needle thread loosely, turn the hand wheel towards you 1 full revolution, and the needle will take the thread down where the hook will pick it up, wrap it around the bobbin, and bring up your lower thread. See? Lower thread. Put your thread between the toes of the presser foot towards the back of the machine. And put your fabric. I'm going to put 4 layers of this. It's kind of thin. Put your fabric under the presser foot and lower the presser foot using the lever on the back. And you want to hold your threads for the first stitch or two while the thread locks in place. It's a lock stitch machine as opposed to the old-fashioned chain stitch. Here we go. Now, this is your stitch length, this knob here. And I'm going to add a little more stitch length so the fabric moves along a little faster. The stitches will be a little bit bigger. And to do that, you're going to move this lever down a little bit. The further down you go from the center position, the longer your stitches get. The further up you go from the center position here, the longer your stitches get in reverse. So we're going to go down here about to there. And let's see. This is your feed drop. Wait, let me back up. Your stitch length here, if you want to have your stitches the same length in forward and reverse, if you're planning on doing a lot of reverse sewing, this knob here sets the stitch length. So now the lever goes just as far up as it goes down, and the stitches are the same length in reverse as in forward. You can make it smaller. See, and now your stitches only have that much play. So I'm going to open it all the way up so we can have full range. And I'm going to set it down. That says it's 2 on the stitch length dial. And I'll just leave it there for now. Okay, here we go. Oh, this knob here is your feed drop. If you want to do machine embroidery or applique or darning, anything like that, where you move the fabric instead of the machine moving the fabric, turn your feed drop knob to the left, and it lowers the feed dogs so they're no longer pulling the fabric. And also you want to release the pressure on your sewing foot. You do that by just pressing down this little lever, and this knob pops up. This knob is adjust how much pressure is on the sewing foot. We're going to go down about halfway roughly. You want to make sure that this dial is all the way to the right where it says feed, and we're going to sew. Let's go for a little longer stitch length. A little longer stitch length. Notice me trying to stay out of the picture here. Ain't easy to sew that way. Okay. So this is forward, this is reverse, forward, reverse, forward. Drop the feed, release the foot pressure, and now we're moving the fabric. Write your name, draw pictures, whatever you want to do. Now we're going to turn it back to the feed position. Add some foot pressure. Now the machine. So, this is your light switch. This is your upper tension, and I have it set so around 4 is a good balanced stitch for regular fabric. If you need to, you can turn it up or down small increments to get a more balanced stitch, so it's actually pulling the thread up from the bottom and down from the top, and the thread's meeting in the middle. You don't have loops on the bottom, and it's not, the fabric's not puckering. let's see, any other controls? Yep, that's about it. I went through and oiled her again, and so, you know, after another 18 hours or so of sewing, you're going to want to oil it again. And your user manual should have oiling instructions in here somewhere. Yeah, here's the oiling points. This will show you the basic operation of your machine, and how to set the needle and how to thread it, and wind the bobbin, and all that other various information. Be a good idea to sit down and read through this before you start sewing. It'd take you maybe 15 minutes. Sit down with a cup of